What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of House Flipper. As always, if you guys are enjoying this series, make sure you leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we were working on the 2-in-1 apartment complex. And I gotta say, the last like 2 jobs we've done on this new DLC just haven't been that enjoyable, in my opinion. So I'm hoping that we can turn things around today. We have 2 options. The first one here is another apartment. So I'm not even going to waste our time. I'm not going to read through that one. I do not want to do another apartment today. However, there's actually a home, a proper house just down the street here. This one is Forgotten Heritage. Beatrice has always felt like an artist at heart. The sentiment was even enhanced when she found out about the position her grandmother held in the art world during life in Moonrise Bay. Inheriting her old home made Beatrice ecstatic. Fascinated by the heritage hidden under decades worth of dust, she's looking for someone to restore the house's old glamour and prepare it for the youngsters to move in. This one had a few too many run-on sentences, but we're gonna take it on regardless.
My grandmother poured her soul into this place. She was a renowned writer and musician. I love everything here, but all those tears, scratches, and nasty mold stains...
This is a big job.
So please, don't change it too much.
This is a really big job.
It's remarkable how well the garden still looks.
A little overgrown, but
Let's
sure.
get back inside the house, since it should be your main job.
Oh,
I can't
main
wait
job.
till I'll be able to play this piano.
Meaning that we
Have you
might have
noticed
a
those
side
paintings?
job. And
I heard
potentially
one
we'll
of them
be
was a gift from my
refurnishing or
grandma's
refinishing
dearest
that
friend.
piano.
This would be a perfect reading nook for rainy days.
Okay, okay.
I've never
Trying to
had
figure
a
out what
chance
her
to meet
accent
Nana,
is.
But I just know she
Can't,
was my kindred spirit.
Can't quite place it.
Oh, this bedroom? It just shouts artiste.
Ah,
Don't you think?
Feast. See,
There's
I don't
so
know if
much
it's
space.
French
Both of my children should be
or
able
if it's
to
like
find their own spots.
Spanish,
I'm so
like
thrilled to
Spain
move in.
Spanish.
Don't make me wait too long.
Okay, Forgotten Heritage. Interesting. I wonder how she like stumbled did her mother
Grandmother.
pass and now she's like stumbling upon all her mom's
Grandmother.
old possessions. A couple of holes in the story here, if I'm being honest, or maybe I'm just not bright enough to fill in the blanks. But nonetheless, we're gonna start by just going around checking things out. Dude, this place has been vacant for a very, very, very long time. Or her mom
Grandmother.
was just kind of way too old towards the end of her life and just kind of couldn't really keep up with property maintenance and stuff. We're actually gonna go through this side door. This looks sort of like a mud room. They're calling it a storeroom. And here, this looks like it used to be the dining room. Very nice, very nice. Very old lady-esque. Getting some big old lady vibes. Not like big like the old lady was big, but like the vibe is big. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. Through this door, this looks like the dining room. So we have dining room meeting dining room. Impressive, impressive. And here, this would loop back around to that original dining room. This is the reading nook, as she called it. We have a staircase over here to our left. This is like the front corridor, front entryway. Dude, see, there's even graffiti in here. Like she was probably out of this house for quite some time before her daughter stumbled upon it. What else we got in here? Some curtains. Okay, so this is maybe what was once the living room, I'm thinking. And we have this nice patio back here. Okay, she does have a very nice spot on the canal here. And over to our right some more. This would appear to be the ocean. And you can even see the yacht off in the distance. Kind of nice she has her own little dock over here. That's pretty sweet. Okay, back into the main entry slash corridor. I do think it's a little strange that they have a sliding glass door for their front door. But not here to judge. Not here to judge. Just here to help, sort of, in any way that we can. This used to be a kitchen once upon a time. It's definitely seen better days. Got another external door right here, and this goes into a bedroom. I was assuming this was going to be a pantry, but apparently not. Okay, that ought to do it for the main floor. Let's make our way upstairs now. Kind of interesting staircase. Really, really long flight here. And then a nice short flight up just the rest of the way. Let's go to our right first, because I think we saw the left side in that cutscene. This is gonna be an office, maybe? Looks like it used to be an office, potentially. And then back in this room, this is just a storage room. Just a storage room. This one is really creepy. Like, everything's so distressed, so old, so vintage looking that it's a little spooky in here, I'm not gonna lie. And then another random storage room. So we have 2 random storage rooms over there and an office. Over here, this was the bedroom. We did see this in the cutscene very, very briefly. Back in here, that's gonna be the storage room again. Tons of unutilized space. Looks like they might have had a leak. They got a bowl down on the floor, unless that's like an old chandelier or something. I'm not really sure. I think we are going to be changing out quite a few windows, which is nice. We haven't actually had to do very much of that. And then, is that it? We got one more door over here. This is another bedroom. God, dude, there's just so much. The house just kind of keeps going. It's very, very deep. Then over here we have a bathroom. And this one, another little storage room, or I guess closet, kind of. So, I think you guys kind of know the deal by now. First things first, we gotta go around, clean up all of the junk that's strung around the house. Then we're gonna go through with our handy dandy mop and make sure everything is nice and clean. Then we can come through and do whatever else they want. There's so much going on in this property, we may end up breaking it up into multiple different episodes, but I think we'll just have to wait and see what all is left after we go through and get her all cleaned up. This house is so spooky. I'm finding myself forgetting that I'm playing House Flipper and not like Phasmophobia. Like, I'm hesitant to turn on light switches because I'm worried we're gonna trip the breaker, like that type of stuff. But now that we've gone through the entire house, we've got all the dirt cleaned up, we have all the trash cleaned out of every single room, I think we're finally ready to move on to our next few tasks. Now, I have gone around all of the rooms, made sure all the light switches are all turned on if they have lights in them. And while I was doing that, I noticed there's a few rooms where there's like bad electrical outlets, or like certain installations maybe need deleted, like this bathroom installation in here looks like just has to go bye-bye. Easy as that. So we're just gonna go around really quick to every... Dude, we haven't done one of these in a very, very long time, but we're gonna go around to every bad electrical outlet or installation that just needs repaired, replaced, deleted, whatever the case may be. And we're gonna go through and just tackle all that real quick. Kind of monotonous stuff. You guys probably don't want to see much of this, so I will save you guys the trouble on this one for sure. I definitely think there's a really good possibility that we're not currently alone while we're working in this house. I just feel another strong presence with us at all times. And in this room over here, dude, this is where it gets really weird. It's almost like they were trying to have like a seance in this space or something. I found a lot of broken glass around this table, a lot of weird like random artifact looking things on the table as well, and then a bunch of rocks that I kind of just chalked up to some neighbor kids throwing rocks through these broken windows or something along those lines. But where it's really weird is this. The chandelier's missing like every single bulb, and all of the glass that I found around this table was from bulbs. It looked like broken bulbs on the floor. So that's kind of why I'm thinking maybe they were doing a little seance in here, you know, trying to get some bad juju out, or maybe just, I don't know, talk to this lady's mom or something. But we got one more bulb there to replace, and I think that is a wrap on all the weird, like, miscellaneous tasks that we had around here. Now, I'm gonna go outside, and I just want to see... We don't have them unlocked yet. I'm assuming that at a certain point, we will be given our privileges to use our weed whacker and our lawnmower again. I just don't know when that's gonna happen. I kind of thought it was this one, because she was like, your main task is inside, so I was like, oh, maybe we have like a secondary task outside, you know what I'm saying? But that didn't happen, so here we are. Basically doing the same thing we've done on all the other houses so far. This one's different, obviously, because it's very clearly haunted. So rather than doing lawn care, which is what I was hoping we were going to tackle next, we're going to go through and sell every single object that we need to sell. Actually, before that, let's do all these windows, because there's a ton of these things around here. So all we have to do is just change the window really quick. Just going to get a nice peek of the outside of this property. So everything pretty much on this house is white except for those blue shutters. So I don't know if I'm gonna do white trim on the windows or if we're gonna mix it up or what we're gonna do just yet. But let's see what options we have. None. Just the option to replace them. Okay, well that makes it easy. now we can just go through and replace all the windows then. I really thought we were gonna get a chance to, you know, make some sort of design decision with these. Oh, these are actually black. Okay. Nice. I like that. I like that. I think that's gonna look a lot better up here because this is supposed to be like a screened in type area room looking thing, like a Four Seasons room. That's what I'm getting from it anyways. Oh, and it makes the shutters black. Dude, this makes the property look so much better. I'm not even sad now. I'm not even sad that we don't get to really choose what color of woodwork we do for these windows, because they're making all the design decisions for us, and it's panning out pretty great so far. Get a load of this here, Chad. All right, look at how much of a difference just changing all the windows out, except for that one up there that I just noticed. But look at how much of a difference changing out all those windows has made for this property. I mean, it looks brand new, minus all the doors and stuff that we still have to go through and sell. But I gotta go up here and try to find that other window. I swear I got them all. How did I miss this one? Oh, it's in here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Tucked behind that door right there. All right, that should now be all of the windows changed out. So I don't think we have any of those left to do. In that case, we're gonna go through with our sell tool and just get rid of everything that they want us to get rid of. It's probably gonna be a lot.
A few moments later.
Not only did I go through and sell all of their unwanted furnishings and things, but I also went through the entire yard and got rid of all of their weeds. Did we have to do that? Absolutely not. But you guys, it bugs me to no end. I don't know why. So with those two tasks complete, we can now move into the next phase of operations. Since we don't quite know what the floor is supposed to look like or what we're gonna change it to, if we are going to change it at all, I think I'm just gonna leave the staircase with something that's a little bit more applicable to any color of flooring. So I'm gonna go with this. It seems nice. We'll just try that out for now. It does look like we can renew it and change it again if we really need to. It's just gonna cost a little bit extra money. Not a huge deal, but now that we've done that, I think we can finally start to go through and do all the flooring in each of these rooms, if it needs changed. If it doesn't need changed, I'm just gonna disregard it and we'll move on to the next. But while we're doing the flooring, I think we should probably tackle the walls as well. You know, while we're in each room, we'll just tackle those two things if we have to do those two things, and then we'll kind of regroup and see where we can go from here. This is definitely a big job. I was thinking originally we were gonna break it up, but I do want to at least try to complete everything in one episode. I feel like that just, you know, makes things a little bit nicer. So give me a few minutes. I'm gonna start on one side of the house and work my way to the other. Okay, we are back in the room that we started in. Now we're just gonna make our way through the rest of the house, kind of show you guys very briefly what all is new. First of all, it's a lot of paneling. There is a lot of panels in this house. I'm not mad about it necessarily. It just took quite a bit longer than this process usually does. But there are a couple of the new feature things in a few of these rooms that we have to check out first, mostly before we can move on to the next step here. So there is this piano. There's a couple of things upstairs, I believe, as well, but we're gonna start here with the grand piano. This thing has a ton of pieces. I'm gonna start with the legs, I guess. We'll just go through and get everything sanded down here real quick. Okay, I got the legs done, and now I'm gonna continue the rest of this thing in the exact same colorway. I did something I don't typically do on these wooden furnishing restorations, and that is painting wood. I don't necessarily love that. I would rather stain it, but since it is a piano, the most common color for a piano is, of course, jet black. So that's what we're going with. The piano is complete, so we can exit the workshop, go back to the house, and now we are left with a much prettier looking piano. But as I mentioned, that is not the only piece of furniture that we have to do something similar to. So I'm gonna head upstairs and we gotta find these next few pieces. We should also go through and choose a wall finish. That's the only reason this room and another room haven't been completed yet. I didn't want to skip any steps, you know. I didn't want you guys to miss out on any portion of this flip. But where is that furniture? I think it's this stuff in here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We'll tackle the stool first. We'll probably just try to keep this, you know, classical looking, kind of like what we did for that piano. Just a black and white, you know, keep it simple. Okay, what am I doing wrong here, dude? I'm at 95% of this thing being completely sanded, and I can't find any spots that I've missed. I guess I'll just continue to work around it until it's done. Well, the stool kind of sucked, but let's see if this vanity cabinet, or I guess just cabinet, is going to be any easier for us. I definitely like doing these larger pieces of furniture a lot more than the smaller stuff like that stool, because both sanding and staining is considerably faster, just because I don't know if there's a difference because there's more surface area, or I have no idea why. It's just less frustrating for some reason. Okay, next we have some glass to replace right there, and on the other side as well. And then this, I think, used to be a mirror. There we go, got a new one of those. Now we can move into all of these doors for this cabinet. And just like that, the deed is done. I think that actually turned out pretty solid. I wasn't 100% sure after I had said we were just gonna leave it black and white if I was actually just gonna leave it black and white. And so I decided against that and just did all black instead. And I think that actually looks pretty nice. That's mainly because we couldn't actually choose a white paint or stain, so we're left with all black thing. But again, I do think that looks pretty solid for this room. I do think that about does it for the furniture though, so let's just go ahead and start on these little orb things. We'll do the wall ones first, and then we'll figure out what else they need. Finally, dude, this is our first inspiration board from this project. The artist gene must go on the female side of our family. My girl Emily learns to paint by copying old masters. She studies them so much, she almost lives among the brush strokes. That is excellent. I can see here from her inspiration board, she's definitely an artiste. Sort of likes a pastel pink and some neutral tones. Let's see what wall options they want us to use here. We have a fresh morning. I believe that's the same color as her bathroom, so I'm not going to choose that one. Subtle lilac would be good, and so would light. Don't even know how to pronounce this one. Honestly, I was just gonna go with subtle lilac because I can actually pronounce this one, but I'm gonna go with whatever this one is. I just feel like it matches her inspiration board a bit better. I love how we've almost been working on this house for 3 hours, and I bet you the episode is maybe 15 minutes, if that. But we're gonna make our way into the next room here that has a wall selection to be made. We're gonna see what this inspiration board has to say. My son Leo, finally a name I can actually pronounce, was at a yacht party recently. Oh, you don't say. And was captivated by the life at the ocean. So if he was at the yacht party, then he's also friends with the kid that paid us to clean up his dad's yacht, who I can't remember his name, but he absolutely sucked. So I'm hoping Leo is at least a little bit better than his friend. Maybe he'll become a sailor like his grandfather. In our family's passions really pass through generations. In our family, passions really pass through generations. Not sure why I read that so weird the first time around, but there you guys have it. So I'm seeing a lot of nautical themed stuff, bunch of anchors, fishing net, light wood, potentially gray, some blues. I think I can do this. This room should be a walk in the park. This is definitely the most expensive wall panel option that they had, but I just feel like this is gonna look really, really nice. For whatever reason, having like a wooden wall section on the bottom and then just having white, you know, plaster or drywall at the top, it's really given me lighthouse vibes. I don't know why. That's probably really weird for me to say that, and maybe that's just because of what I saw on his inspiration board here with the lighthouse. But regardless, we're gonna get these panels thrown up on the walls a few hundred panels later, and I think we're finally done. Maybe we should probably, you know, make our way through the rest of the house just to double check that we didn't forget something super silly. But as we're making our way through all these rooms, it looks like the only thing we have left to do now is, you know, modify some walls. For instance, the kitchen, we did have to do some tiling in here, but rather than doing the tile and then realizing that I hate it because the kitchen wasn't yet configured and then having to go through and change it all, yada, 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 I've decided to wait until we actually purchase the furniture for the kitchen and any other room that might have had some additional tile. That way we make sure that we're actually putting that tile down in a spot that looks good. But other than that kitchen, I'm not seeing any other room in this house that needs further attention aside from just buying all the new furnishings. So with that, I will see you guys here in just a few minutes.
Many minutes later.
It is done, ladies and gentlemen. It is finally done. Nearly 3.5, almost 4 hours later, it is finally done, and with almost $17,000 left in our budget. boy, do I have a lot to show you guys. Okay, it's been obviously quite a bit of time since we last saw each other, but we're gonna start off here in the front entryway of this house. Now, this entire thing is still very elegant. You know, she really tried to capitalize on the fact that yes, this is her mom's old house, and tried to at least make some things still feel old, but freshened up those things that definitely need freshened up. I can't remember what this area looked like beforehand, but now it's at least usable. I mean, you can fully walk through here. There's obviously no trash, no dirt or anything like that. Let's go ahead and move into the kitchen. In here, oh, also, there are lights missing from a few different rooms. I didn't go through and add any of them. It didn't ask us to. But the kitchen's a little weird. I like this as a floor tile, 100%. But as a wall tile, not really feeling it. And then they do have the option to do sort of that half wall, right? So you have the base of the wall being tile, and then the top half of the wall, that would just be, you know, drywall. But they didn't have the, I want to say it was light biscuit in here for the upper half of the wall. So we had the choice between like beige gray, which was a little bit too dark, and white, which was of course too light. So either way, it kind of stood out. It looked a little funny. So that's the reason why we went with the full tile wall instead. But again, as a floor tile, good. Wall tile, not so much. A little grandma-esque. And I decided to keep all the cabinets like totally default. I basically just selected all the cabinets they wanted us to use in their default configuration and threw them up over there in the corner. And I honestly think it turned out pretty good. As soon as we're able to go around and actually purchase the houses from this DLC and make them our own, I do want to try to get a little bit better at my kitchen configuration and just try to use different cabinets that I don't typically use, because like this, for example, just kind of turned out pretty nice for, again, being default. But enough about the kitchen. Let's move into the storage room. It is, of course, just a empty room with no lights and some racks. Pretty straightforward. In the kitchen as well, we do have a little dining room set, but you guys will see here later on why that literally doesn't matter in the slightest bit. I guess you could use that for a breakfast nook, maybe. Anyways, the reason that doesn't really matter is because you have this very unutilized space that probably could have been a dining room. Then you have this very unutilized space. I mean, it is utilized. You obviously have all your storage in here for your china and your fancy pants stuff. But like, what is it? It's just another sitting room. This house has like 4 or 5 sitting/dining rooms, and I just don't really understand the purpose of those spaces. This one, for example, only has 2 chairs in it. And they're just random pink chairs. Doesn't match anything else in this room. In here, again, just a random sofa. In the actual living room, we have another dining room table, as if the one in the kitchen isn't good enough. We do still have the piano in here, which is looking fantastic. This area is rather crowded, I will admit. But that's only because they had me add yet another couch to this house that already has so many other couches. Like, I just really don't understand why they need so many places to sit down. Like, is she worried she's getting to that point where her mom was, where she's just too old? Maybe she has to sit down a lot. I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Okay, where have we been? Now I'm all direction turned. We've been through this room. Again, just, you know, china. Back in here, this is just another storage room, sort of a mud room, like an in-between. You know, you could store your shoes in here from the outside world and then not dirty up your nice floors in here. But I think that actually is everything now on the main floor gone through. I really do like this fireplace because it's huge and it has, I think this is a built-in mirror. Maybe this is actually part of something else. But it is very fitting, very elegant looking in this space, for sure, my dude. I really do like what we went with for the staircase. It doesn't match perfectly, like you can kind of see right here. This floor is a little bit more red than the staircase would. But all in all, I think it does actually match pretty well. And I'm glad we didn't go with anything white, because everything up here, dude, I swear, is this white wood panel. 2 very elegant chandeliers, some sconces. Most of the artwork in the house did actually stay. I guess that's mainly because this family has an art background. Let's actually start over here on the left. This would have been Leo's bedroom. I don't remember her daughter's name, but her room is just across the hall here. So he wanted a very nautical theme. So we have a lot of references to the ocean or just water in general, and I didn't really see any boat anchors or anything they wanted us to add. There's probably a ton of stuff in this catalog. Oh, we actually don't have any anchor decorations. Wait, for real? I was kind of just thinking that maybe they weren't called anchor, or I wasn't spelling anchor correctly, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Okay, I stand corrected. There isn't any anchor decorations. If there are, they're not called anchors. And while I definitely think that that would have been a good addition to this young lad's room, we instead went with these chandeliers that are they're more steampunk in my opinion than like nautical theme, but it's the closest thing I could find. And again, just references, very subtle references to the ocean with the wave rug and bedspread. And in his closet, pretty self-explanatory. It's just a closet, nothing too fancy in there. In his bathroom, I actually really like the way his bathroom came out. I want to say we had to do like 20 packages of these dark gray tiles here, and I really like the way we were able to go about that. This wall here is 10, and this little corner over here is 10. So we do have a sort of backsplash for our shower, which definitely makes sense with the one they had us use. And we have another backsplash just for our sink. I wish we would have been able to do some tile floor in the shower as well, because wood floor in a bathroom just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And then we barely crammed this, what are these called? Suspended toilets? This gas station toilet. Barely squeezed it over there in the corner, but we made it work. That is the young whippersnapper Leo's room. See, dude, why is our time all messed up? Now it says 3 hours. I know we've been working on this for like almost 4. Maybe that'll change, adjust itself somehow. Next we have the daughter's room. I can't remember her name. She was a bit of an artiste. So of course we have Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night over here for her to take inspiration from and whatnot. Then we also have Mona Lisa. Who's the Mona Lisa painted by again? Who painted the Mona Lisa? Leonardo da Vinci. I knew that. So she has 2 master works, so to speak, to take her inspiration from. She has an easel over here to actually do her painting or drawing, whatever she'll do on that. And we kept the colors very subtle, just sort of a subtle pink in here, but not too over the top. Her closet is actually much smaller than her brother's. It's also very purple, but it's pretty much just the same thing as his. And then her bathroom over here is a little different. They actually wanted to keep the original sconce, which I thought was kind of funny because we sold literally every other sconce in this house. She also requested a gas station toilet, so of course we have another suspended toilet in here for her. And then I just don't know about the backsplash. You know, matching floor wall backsplash just doesn't really work for me, I don't think. But it works for this family, and that's great, because I would not want to ever use this bathroom, dude. That door would just stay shut, it would stay locked, and I would throw the key in the canal behind the house. I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. I feel like I got... Oh, no. There's a whole room that we walked right past. So this is the mom's room, I believe. The lady who's actually paying us to do all of this hard work here. Looking back, I do wish that we would have changed whatever this cabinet is actually called, whether it's a vanity or something else. I wish we would have done a darker wood, because everything else in this lady's room is a darker wood. So having these 2 things just all black over here in the corner is a little distracting, and it doesn't really mesh very well with the rest of the items. At the very end of configuring this room, she hit me with this plant. She was like, hey, can you make this plant work in this room? And I was like, no, I have literally no space to put a plant. Could have put it on the floor, but instead I put it on this little bench over here. I think that looks pretty nice. Hopefully nobody sits on that. That could get awkward. Her closet is a little bit larger, and these are actually pulled away from the wall quite a bit. You can see it could go here, but it's pulled forward just a tad. And that's because there was a weird gap in between these 2 corner cabinets there. So just to make it look a little bit nicer, I moved everything away from the wall. That way we could, you know, tone that gap down a little bit more. And last but not least is her very, very underwhelming bathroom. I have no idea where she got these mirrors from, like a Halloween store or something. They look really spooky. She also doesn't have a backsplash for her shower, so that drywall is just gonna get super moldy super fast. I would have also liked to see maybe some sort of a backsplash for her bathtub as well, because again, the wall is just gonna get destroyed with mold and and mildew and whatnot. And then this toilet being in this tiny little outcrop of a wall, just a last minute decision here. But again, the old gas station toilet, they really like using those. But I think that about wraps it up, dude. This house has been really, really fun, but also really weird. It's definitely been a lot more enjoyable than the previous two places that we've been working on, because it started as a house and is finishing as a house, whereas the previous two were like a restaurant and a warehouse converted into a house, and it just kind of made things complicated. But this at least made a bit more sense to me anyways. So with that being said, we are finally ready to complete the job, and surprise, surprise, we're getting paid 29,000 big ones for completing this one as well. I don't know why they structure it all the same price-wise, but you know, it do be like that sometimes. I am actually really curious, kind of excited to see these before and after pictures, because it's a big change. It really is. Everything was kind of gross beforehand. I think we did some good stuff for this house for sure. That front entryway cleaned up really nice as well. It's a better looking bathroom. Ugliest bathroom ever. The third or fourth dining room. I can't even tell, dude. I don't even know anymore. There we go. From the outside of the house, that's the photo right there, dude. Or this one. That's a pretty good one, too. I feel like the outside saw the most glow up, just because of all the windows and whatnot that we had to change out. But now that we've made it back home, I think we're going to wind things down here for today. So once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.